What is happening, folks? Welcome to Gameplay, the eSports show that keeps you in the know of all things high school and university eSports. My name is Collins Manyame, aka Scara in the eSports streets, and today we're going to be catching up with the Student Showdown winners, handing over their trophy, but also catching up with Curro Krugersdorp as they'll be hosting yet another Curro National LAN. So, without any further ado, let's get right into it. All right, let's jump right into things without skipping a beat. I had a chat with the Student Showdown winners, getting their feelings and thoughts after winning the quiz show, but also alongside that, what are their goals and plans going forward, and also getting their trophy. Let's take a look. What is happening, folks? I'm joined right now by Ine Kruger and Ru Pretorius from Curro Krugersdorp, the winners of the Student Showdown quiz. And guys, how are we doing today?
Pretty well.
Good, yeah.
Fantastic stuff. So it has been some time that we have had a chat, and now it is actually time to give you guys your trophy, which you've obviously well deserved. And before we even get into any of that, I'm kind of curious. You guys were really obviously preparing, and I'm pretty sure you wanted to come out the winners, but what is the feeling like when you actually came out the winners and it was finally confirmed that you guys were the winners?
It didn't feel real, to be honest.
I mean, why? I mean, you practiced, you tried, you made sure that you were ready, but is it kind of that feeling of maybe it's not something you expected, but you did want to happen?
Yeah.
Awesome stuff. So what is the most interesting thing that you actually found out about when you were actually researching? Because I mean, you guys said you were studying, so what is the most interesting fact you found out about esports?
I think, the age at which a lot of these players start playing, there's a 6-year-old somewhere that's winning world champions, a 13-year-old that's a billionaire. I mean, it's
ridiculous, right? And Ru, what is the most interesting thing you found out?
I mean, I'd say how young people are, like when they start getting good, and also that it's never too late to go pro.
I mean, that's actually a really good point, because there have been so many people who have actually kind of pushed that boundary as well, to kind of be like, you know what, just because we're old doesn't mean we can't compete as well. So it's really cool to be able to see all these things and learn all of these things. And, going into, learning more about esports, right? What is your take on people kind of needing to learn more about it? Do you feel like they should, especially with how many interesting facts there can be to find out here and there?
I think it would be nice for more people to know about it. And there's general knowledge around rugby and netball and cricket and all that. And I think esports is such a fast-growing sport. I think it is needed for people to have more knowledge on that.
Definitely, fantastic. So now coming up is your guys' Curro National LAN, right? Can we expect to see you guys competing?
Definitely.
Fantastic. And Ru, what is the games that you're going to be focusing on coming into the LAN?
I'd say Rocket League and Overwatch.
Ooh, which one are we focusing on more though?
I think I'm focusing on Overwatch at the moment.
Okay, I love that. And your side, Ane, I'm assuming it has to be Dota.
Definitely, yeah, Dota. And then I'm thinking of doing the Fortnite, one-on-one and 2v2s, just for fun. I haven't done it in a while.
Ah, that's fantastic. So it's really cool, because I mean, this has not really been your first LAN. You guys have kind of been competing in more and more LANs over time. And coming into these LANs, have you been feeling any more nervous, anxious, or has it kind of become easier over time with all the LANs you've kind of been a part of?
I'd say it has become easier because we've started practicing more and more because of how many schools are joining.
Okay. And how do you find it now, especially coming into a LAN and kind of realizing that, it's not really your first LAN, but obviously the excitement is still there, right?
I think, it's easy going in there. We are used to the whole setup, going there, how it works. But the nervousness, it does sometimes kick in because, the level of difficulty increases every year. There's more teams that practice. So, yeah.
Awesome. So before I do the trophy handover, is there one thing specifically you'd maybe like to share with maybe a friend, family, or anyone that's watching you right now?
I mean, you can become professional in esports anywhere around the world, even in South Africa.
Fantastic. And your side, Ine?
I think, just, thank you for all the support, not stopping to criticize me about being the only girl in our team, or saying that I won't be able to make it. The support has helped.
It's fantastic to hear. But Without further ado, it's time to obviously hand over the trophy. So once again, congratulations on winning the Student Showdown quiz. But ladies and gentlemen, that has been my guest for today for the catch-up, and let's get back to the show. It's really touching to be able to see so much growth within the space and seeing more and more kids getting these opportunities, not only to be on TV, but to be able to learn more about esports, to get more involved within the space and growing their careers. And I'm really excited to be seeing a few more students here and there popping up who actually want to grow and get better at esports. So without further ado, let's talk more about AGC. So although AGC is done, there still are some stories lingering. Here's one story that came out of that beautiful event.
My name is Mnoto, and I go to a school called Thomas More College in Hillcrest, Durban. I play Rocket League. Yeah, Rocket League is my favorite game.
Thomas Moore doing here, and Mnoto coming off the seating.
We placed third, unfortunately, in the schools league, and today we did not win a single game. I found it amazing. It was very hard, yes, in general, but yeah, that's what comes with competitiveness. No, this is in fact my first time being in person with friends, with teammates, and yeah, it's been an amazing experience. How did we prep? So we prepped by scrimming a lot, a week before our tournament, scrimming all the teams that were going to be here. And we also did just sessions with our coach, yes. I experienced playing in front of a crowd for the first time, all the nerve, all the pressure on top of you, and how you can really play differently at home and in front of people, yeah. My highlights was probably meeting all the pros, Snowy, To Die For, Cams, Ram, Mr. Low. Yeah, that was definitely my highlights. My hopes are to stop playing RLCS, maybe make top 8 and really make a name for myself, so yeah.
This is just a drop in the effect that the AGC event had in a few of the students that were participating at the event. And with the weeks to come, I'll be sharing a bit more of these stories. So I hope you guys will be keeping up just so you can see the magnitude of the effect that AGC had and the plans that we may potentially be having going forward in the future. But aside from all of that, it is time for gaming opportunities in your area. And I always got to keep you guys plugged with the latest opportunities, and here's one for you. The Curro National LAN is coming up. So all you schools, students that are listening right now, this is your opportunity. I hope you are going to get ready to sign up, because sign-ups are going to be closing this Friday. So I hope you don't miss out on this National LAN coming up, open to all schools. So I hope you guys will be signing up. Head on over to the Curro website at www.curro.co.za, or you can check out the ACGL website at www.schools.acgl.gg. Get your school signed up and get ready to compete. And further from that, the MTN Shift Gaming Experience is heading towards its final stop, Canal Walk. From the 11th to the 15th of September, don't miss out on what the Shift Gaming Experience has in store for you. With 200,000 worth of prizes up for grabs, tournaments to compete in, and a wide range of activities to enjoy, you do not want to be caught lacking by not being there. So I hope you'll be ready come the time of the weekend of 11th to the 15th of September. So it's currently still off season for ASL and AUL, but you still have an opportunity to catch some esports action. Follow Curro at twitch.tv/Curro esports or ACGL at twitch.tv/African esports to keep up to date with some off-season esports action. And stay tuned onto the show, as I'll be sharing where you can watch any more action for high school esports events outside of these spaces, and where you can potentially be grabbing more of it and enjoy and have your fill of high school or university esports action. All right, it's about that time to take a breather, take a short break, plug in our controllers. But on the other side of this, I have my interview with the Curro representative, talking more about the National LAN and a bit of the culture and history of esports in Curro. See you after the break. is happening, folks? I am joined by Magdalene de Kok from the Curro team, and I'm very excited once again to be chatting to her. Mags, how are you doing today?
I'm good, Scara, and you?
I am fantastic. You know, I'm really excited to always get to have a really cool chat. I would have loved to have the trophy on display, but seems like the students kind of ran away with it. But how does it feel actually seeing the students, you know, being able to participate in a quiz show on TV, and then now also being the winners as well, especially from how far Curro has come?
Well, a little bit of background is I actually coached these players when they were in grade 5.
Really?
Sorry, grade 6 and 7. So they were like my baby, my eSports babies. And to see where they've gotten to is absolutely amazing. You know, as a coach, even though I'm not coaching every day now, but as a coach, it's fabulous to see how passionate they are, how they've taken the reins, and I mean the research they did to get the answers. And seeing how they now actually want to pursue careers in esports is great to see.
I mean, it's beautiful, right? Because that's the whole idea with the uplifting of the esports space, is trying to kind of showcase that it is a possibility to go for a career, even though it's not always like the most lucrative. But if you can find the right spaces, if you can grow in a sustainable manner, it is a possibility. But regardless, the actual drive, seeing that happen, has to be a great feeling, right?
Yes, it's a great feeling. I think it's you see them grow, you see them take up the reins, where you move from a coach where you have to show them the tips and tricks, you know, even if you're not an expert, to them going and researching and looking at pro players, looking at events that's live streamed, or even just, you know, researching videos and taking that and applying it in their own gameplay is great to see. The growth and the effort they put in, the passion they have for the games. It's great.
It's beautiful, right?
Yeah, it's beautiful, yeah.
So one thing I'm curious about is what actually started fostering that culture of esports within Curro? Because I mean, Curro has already a multitude of schools that are participating in esports. What actually fostered that culture to grow? Was it, you know, workshops that were potentially there? You know, what was the idea behind all of it?
So it all started in 2020, and we just started with Minecraft esports and got the kids started saying, "What we want more, we want more." We had coaches that were passionate about certain titles, and they said, "Well, let's see how we can develop it." And then I think the biggest thing that happened was where the management of Curro said, well, they see the value in this, and they're going to adopt it as an official Curro sport. And esports is actually an alpha sport at all our Curro schools, meaning that it's a priority at our Curro schools, which is a great step forward. I mean, competing against sports like hockey, cricket, swimming, soccer, to have esports as a priority. That's a huge step, right? And to have the support of Curro management is just amazing. We can't say we haven't done this ourselves, but with their support, we've really grown by leaps and bounds. I mean, we've got over 70 schools participating in esports just from Curro schools.
Yeah. So that's kind of the beauty behind that, is that it's kind of just becomes something that's clung onto every single Curro school. And I think also what is great for that is because it's not only just one school in one area and it's spread across South Africa, you kind of feel like that also bleeds into other schools, right?
Exactly, and that's one of our main things that we are pushing and driving at our schools, is to include community schools. Not just to focus on the inter-Curro games, to really open up and share the knowledge, grab other schools who haven't, started their own programs, sharing resources, coaches helping, that type of thing we're really pushing for our Curro schools, to reach out to community schools, to start developing the community, because without the community of esports, we're not going anywhere. So you can't just keep everything internal. You have to expand, open the doors, invite everybody in.
Indeed. And you're speaking on that growth, actually. So if for those that are watching, you maybe don't know, Curro Krugersdorp actually hosted the first Curro Clash LAN, which is in 2023. And fast forward to now, we have another one coming up. What's the feeling been like from that event leading up to all the LANs that have been hosted till now? And then obviously we'll speak more on the LAN in a bit, but how has it been sort of growing that project as Curro?
It's almost, it's automatic at the moment. We've learned so much from the first one to this one. We now know exactly what needs to happen, and with the ACGL team supporting us to get it right every single time, it just works. But you're still nervous because you never know, how many schools are going to enter, the type of the quality of the competition, and we really push our national LAN to be a elite participation, not just mass participation. We want to see the best of the best.
And one thing actually to note, why exactly do you call it the national LAN?
Because we're giving schools right across the country a chance to compete. Ideally, you would want to have this as regional championships all across South Africa, and then having them come and compete at a national LAN as the top winners of those events. And that might be our strategy going forward in the next couple of years. But for now, we really want to give those schools who are sitting in Kathu and far away in the Eastern Cape, in Richards Bay, even the ones close by that but might not have the funds to actually take devices to go to a venue, to give them a chance to compete against the best of the best. And that's not always something that's possible.
Yeah.
And by driving an in-person event, getting schools to a venue, giving them that chance to be part of the atmosphere, the environment, really gives our kids a different perspective on esports, give the parents a different perspective on esports, and also giving our schools a chance to shine. Yes, I think that's the biggest thing. So we have three portions. We've got the Krugersdorp venue, we've got a Western Cape venue at Durbanville Primary School, and then we've got an online version. But those schools are all competing against each other. So it's not Western Cape schools competing against Western Cape and Gauteng against Gauteng. It's Western Cape online Gauteng, the management of that, but you get a chance to compete against another team that you might never have, played against in an online league. So that's what we're aiming for this.
That's absolutely beautiful, because I think that's when you can kind of take that national part and see why it's there, is that it kind of gives, teams that maybe can't make it to one of the venues to be able to compete, right? So
Exactly.
for schools maybe in a different province outside of that, they have that opportunity to participate, right?
Exactly. I think my dream is to eventually see an event, an esports LAN in every single province, or at least in every main metropolis in South Africa. Have a one in Bloemfontein, in Durban, one in Ballito, Eastern Cape, and all of those schools go and compete and then come to an elite, final to show that you're really the best, and then we can properly call it a national LAN.
That's amazing.
Nee, that's where we're going. That's where we're going. I'm very excited.
But speaking on that, so let's actually talk more about the national LAN. So what is the structure looking like? So what games can we potentially be seeing? And then obviously when are the sign-up dates? When can teams kind of look to know, okay, this is when cutoff time is, and by this time we need to have our teams ready?
So cutoff time is actually coming this Friday, the 6th of September.
Hope you guys are listening.
6th of
Better be
September,
listening.
you need to enter. We have shared all of this on the ACGL Schools website, it's on the Curro website, it's all over the Curro social media to get the entry links to enter your teams. Our structure we're looking at is having the 2nd and the 3rd of October, we are playing Rocket League and Minecraft Build Battles.
Okay.
We will never get rid of Minecraft Build Battles because that's where Curro started.
It's literally the foundation.
It needs to be there,
can't.
right? It needs to be there. So that's happening on the first 2 days over this 4-day event. And it's 2 age groups, primary school and high school. And then we have the last 2 days will be Minecraft PvP, which is Capture the Flag. We're going to have Overwatch and Valorant. And I must say, so far, our sign-ups for Valorant is looking as this is going to be a competition to watch.
Okay,
I must tell you.
I mean, for people that maybe know me personally, I love Valorant. So that is definitely something I'm like, you know what? I need to be there.
You want a shoutcaster? You know, we can always make an arrangement.
You need to ask me. You need to ask me. And that's really exciting. And I think the one thing to note is just how many titles are slowly getting added to the Curro Clashland. Because if I recall, from the first time that we did, I think it was only Overwatch, Rocket League, and Minecraft.
Yeah, so the first one was actually Dota and Minecraft. So that's what we did in our first one. And we had very few kids participating because, you know, Dota was a very elite title. And we had about 120 kids in that hall. Then we went over to our Durbanville, Western Cape LAN, which we had about 130 kids. And it's just been growing. It's just been growing where we had the Western Cape LAN, where we spoke about the other time, over 190 kids. So, and last year's National LAN, we had over 300 kids competing. So we're trying to push. I think we're going to push for 500 participants this time. So let's see.
And I mean, it's not far off.
No, it's not.
With how much involvement I feel like there has been, and a lot of sort of involvement from brands as well getting involved, I think we've seen a real spike in involvement within the space because, as you mentioned, it was Dota, Minecraft, but now we have Overwatch, we have Rocket League, we have Valorant, we have Apex Legends. I mean, it's just ever growing, right? And that's the whole goal for Curro, is continue to grow and give space for these students.
Yes, exactly, and also trying to keep with the times. You know, if a title has reached its, you know, its capacity, its limitations, then to strategize and see what other title can take the place. Because as an educational institution, it's also about the growth in skill level. So starting with something that a primary school learner is allowed to play, but the skill they learn in that game will build something that they will be allowed to play when they're 16, where they're actually learning that skill. It's all about, you know, constant education, learning, development, and it's all part of the whole package that we're trying to push.
It's very exciting stuff. And once again, it's been an absolute pleasure.
Thank you,
so
Skara. Thank you for having us.
Always a pleasure. But ladies and gentlemen, that has been Gameplay. Thank you so much for joining us today. It has been quite a pleasure. I hope to be seeing you next week, same time, same place. And once again, I've been Skara. This has been Gameplay. Take care. GG's game.